Good blessed afternoon. Today is Monday, June the 29th, 2020 time of the vision. Time being 12:12 p.m. in the afternoon, early afternoon. I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace. All right now, and the blessings of God be with you. I made a video earlier today showing how God can turn your critics or enemies. I wouldn't consider this individual my enemy, but one of my used to be critics, not a critic that was detrimental, but turn the minds around of some people. You know, when you get to learning to know a person, then where they came from and how they used to react to things, you would be able to know them better. But before I get ready to go, I'm about to go over to Cairo, Illinois. A black businessman that his parents live across the street from me here in Charleston, Missouri. Want me to come over while he's videoing a wall in Cairo, Illinois. What I want to tell people, sometime when you make judgments about a person and you don't really know anything about them, or when a stranger come into your town, you know the Bible tell you, be careful how you entertain strangers, because some have entertained angels unaware, and sometimes you entertain danger unaware. You know what I mean? But just because a person seems to be alone, don't let that fool you. You see what I'm saying? Don't let a person age or size fool you. But what I want to just say today is and it's to the black people, and I'm not saying this here on the racist side, but I just want to just show y'all in Chicago, the Father's Day weekend, 106 individuals shot. And I believe it was about maybe 14 or more killed. Just this past weekend, I think it was about 64 people shot. And hey now, and what I want to show you is, that's not just Chicago, that's in other places too. But Chicago is where I was born and raised, in Cabrini Green, one of the most, considered one of the most notorious housing projects in the nation. And we didn't have that much killing. But what I want to say is, look at the little children. A 20-month-old baby was killed. This is Spanish and black people getting killed. Most of them is black people. A Spanish girl, I think 10 years old, was in her second floor apartment watching television, shot and killed. You see what I'm saying? A little 20-month-old black baby boy was riding in the car with his mother to the laundromat. They shot up the car, the mother wounded, the kid killed. Something got to happen to stop this here. You see, all I can do is lead by example. My brother was murdered like an animal by another black individual, set up by other black individuals in 1977. And I was in prison. When I got out, I had to make a decision. Do I go back and get revenge on these individuals after all these years and in the past? Or do I try to set an example? I tried to set an example. With what happened to me here in Charleston, Missouri, in Boomland, I had to make a decision. Do I get revenge? You see what I'm saying? Get a lot of my people locked up. Somebody may get killed. You know what I mean? Most definitely on both sides. You see what I'm saying? Or do I try to set an example? I try to set an example. You see what I'm saying? I sat down with leaders of various churches and various organizations and groups, government program groups, and I sat down. I showed Charleston, Missouri in the nation. I showed some people that watches my YouTube videos in other countries. I showed an example, a positive example, even though I still get people that attack me. You see what I'm saying? I'm finna rest on talking about the attacker next door. Not gonna give her that much attention no more. Not gonna get the rest of them that more attention. Let them say what they want to say. But black folks and any other nationality, if you stand for justice, you see what I'm saying? When you see wrong, no matter who do it, you got to stand up to it. If you don't want to stand up to a rich farmer, and I'm not talking about all of them, because when I was at Black Gold, there was one particular farmer. You see what I'm saying? I'll just say his first name, Joe. You see what I'm saying? Joe treated me real good. Joe and his nephew. But Joe left, and an individual came from Mississippi, and he was one of the most prejudiced individuals that I ever met in my life, and I filed a lawsuit against him. So when I talk about farmers, I don't talk about all farmers, because Joe and his family never did nothing. They treated me real good. You see what I'm saying? And I watched and monitored. Joe made me a manager. I watched and monitored some of the blacks that claimed that Joe was racist, but Joe didn't want to have to pay you and you sitting down and doing nothing. That was going with whites and blacks. You see what I'm saying? I seen it with my own eyes. And I'm not saying it just because he made me a manager. But when I talk about white supremacists, I'm not talking about all people. I'm not talking about all rich people. The Bible even say the chances of a rich man or a rich person entering heaven is just like the chances of a camel going through the eye of a needle, slim to none. And if you notice why he says that, is because some people, and I see it here in Charleston, Missouri a lot, just because your family got millions and you run these court systems, you run City Hall and these other places, you won't get away with that wrong for too long. You see what I'm saying? The individual that I seen today in Sykes, Missouri, that worked for a establishment that I've been giving tips for a while, that identified themselves as the individual, one of the individuals who were making statements on my YouTube. And we seen, they white and I'm black. They seen I'm not racist, and I seen they wasn't. They let me know they grew up in here, and they recognize races. They recognize wrong. They recognize the individual next door with the mess starting. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to leave that alone. You know what I mean? God forgive me when I go off course, but I thank God it's okay. He said it's okay to get angry, but don't sin in your anger. See, when I used to sin in my anger, I would pick up a gun and get to blowing people's heads off to do something wrong to me and my family. But I ain't did that in 24 years down here. I'd have been called nigger. You see what I'm saying? I've been spit at. You see what I'm saying? I've been physically assaulted. You see what I'm saying? Been locked up a couple of times unjustly. You see what I'm saying? Had police chief and sheriff individuals, the present sheriff and the present police chief here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. When I tell them about two police, a sergeant and a black and a white officer wasn't doing their job and getting together with individuals that I'm pressing charges against or individuals I'm complaining against, and they said the black sergeant was wrong, but the white officer, we gonna talk to him. What do that tell you? That's racism. That's why I'm voting for Keith Moore. You see what I'm saying? Keith Moore family ain't a big rich family around here. Keith Moore know the streets. Keith Moore, if he don't do his job right, he know God gonna take care. You know, a lot of these people that's in power, sheriff, police, going to the same church here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, that don't mean nothing. A person behind the pulpit, that don't mean nothing. You got preachers that's molesting kids. You got preachers that's stealing money. You see what I'm saying? You got preachers that won't tell their congregation members that they wrong, that they prejudiced, that they unfair, that they treating other people unjust when they in these high-ranking positions. But God gonna change it all. Peace be still.